U.S. begins extraordinary steps to avoid debt ceiling. The Treasury Department says it is taking action to prevent a default that could do irreparable harm to the economy. The Biden administration began extraordinary measures Thursday to prevent the federal government from breaching its debt limit and hurtling toward default, a grim scenario with the potential to destabilize markets and devastate the economy. Treasury Secretary Janet L. Yellen told lawmakers that officials will alter certain federal investments to preserve the nation's credit until summer, largely through technical moves that will buy lawmakers time to pass legislation that raises or suspends the amount the government is allowed to borrow, currently capped at $31.4 trillion. I respectfully urge Congress to act promptly to protect the full faith and credit of the United States, Yellen wrote to House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, Republican California, on Thursday. Newly emboldened House Republicans are trying to leverage the standoff to extract major spending cuts, insisting that previous Congresses and administrations have spent too much on social programs. Some GOP lawmakers have even raised the prospect they might seek changes to entitlement programs, including Social Security and Medicare. But the White House has said it will not negotiate on the debt ceiling, and President Biden has pledged to oppose any attempt to cut entitlements. On Wednesday, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said the issue should not be used as a political football. In the past there has been bipartisan cooperation to address the debt ceiling, she said, and that's how it should be. Yellen has said a default could cause irreparable harm to the U.S. economy. Federally backed debt is the backbone of domestic and global markets. A failure to make good on U.S. borrowing could set off panic on Wall Street and spark millions of job losses. House Republicans prepare emergency plan for breaching debt limit. In an analyst note Thursday, credit rating agency Moody's said it expected debt limit negotiations to be protracted, but debt service obligations will be met. In our view, a debt limit impasse will likely be resolved before a missed interest payment occurs because of public, political and financial market. Yellen has said a default could cause irreparable harm to the U.S. economy. Federally backed debt is the backbone of domestic and global markets. A failure to make good on U.S. borrowing could set off panic on Wall Street and spark millions of job losses. House Republicans prepare emergency plan for breaching debt limit. In an analyst note Thursday, credit rating agency Moody's said it expected debt limit negotiations to be protracted, but debt service obligations will be met. In our view, a debt limit impasse will likely be resolved before a missed interest payment occurs because of public, political and financial market domestic spending that Democrats have long decried as damaging. Under Biden, congressional Republicans have tried to hold up efforts to address the debt ceiling, prompting an array of experts to emphasize the costs of a potential failure. In one September 2021 standoff, Mark Zandi, the chief economist at Moody's Analytics, said a prolonged crisis could have catalyzed a full-scale recession in the United States, wiping out billions of dollars in economic growth and eliminating as many as 6 million jobs. House Republicans have begun planning a set of instructions for the Treasury Department if lawmakers and Biden cannot reach a debt ceiling agreement, The Washington Post reported last week. That plan was part of an agreement that helped McCarthy secure votes from the hard-right House Freedom Caucus to win the speakership. Rep. Jason T. Smith, RMO, chair of the House Ways and Means Committee, on Thursday called on Biden to negotiate with GOP leaders to cut spending. The American people rightfully recognize that maintaining Washington's status quo, which runs up massive deficits and adds trillions to our national debt, is unsustainable, Smith said in a statement, adding, instead of attacking his political opponents, President Biden should be spending this time working with House Republicans to address the debt ceiling in a way that imposes some fiscal sanity. Senate Majority Leader Charles E. Schumer, D.N.Y., accused House Republicans of brinkmanship that would cause nothing less than an economic crisis. This is not complicated. If the MAGA GOP stops paying our nation's bills, Americans will be the ones to pay the price, he said in a statement.